I think the camera's crooked. Good morning.
It probably is crooked. Good morning. You need to come over here.
I'm out of frame.
She's out of frame. I've got, I think, the camera a little bit crooked. Yeah, is it crooked?
I'd move it a little. Yeah, just a hair. That's fine. We'll keep this in. Good morning. We're Coffee and a Podcast.
There?
With Cherylannchapman and Iris.
Is that level?
I think so. It's kind of crooked, actually.
Still?
It's kind of funny. We're just setting up this morning. We've been out of town, both of us, and busy for 2 weeks, so we haven't done this for a while. I think it's fine. You can come on back, and I'll just lean into you, darling. I'll just lean into you.
There we go. There we go.
How do you feel?
I guess the camera is showing how. Oh yeah, it is.
Coffee and a podcast.
It's just ignore my look there, people.
It was fun.
It just
We're having fun.
is sleepy like its owner.
Oh, are you sleepy?
I'm sleepy.
Yeah. Why are you so sleepy? You didn't get enough sleep last night?
No.
Why were you up? Did you use your machine?
No, I haven't used it for 2 weeks because I can't breathe. Okay. So the machine that you're talking about is
sleep
my
machine.
Sleep apnea machine.
Yeah.
And
I love it.
I have a deviated septum, so I have a hard time breathing.
Yeah,
and the weather's been so hot.
Yeah.
That I've not been. I use it for like maybe 4 hours and I kick it off.
So yeah, hey, do you know what? That's fine though, because during those 4 hours you're getting restorative sleep, and your heart isn't having to restart every time. So it's a good thing.
True. So now it's 4 hours is a good sandwagon. See, sandwagon.
We're gonna get Cheryl a sandwagon.
I want a sandwagon. Oh my goodness.
But wait, we have coffee.
But yes,
because we've had a rough 2 weeks and a rough morning.
It's been kind of an interesting last couple weeks. But before we get started, I have this fabulous T-shirt, Sunshine and Coffee. Given to me by yours truly. I love the color.
She is.
I'm not sunshine this morning.
She is.
She's here to remind me to be sunshine.
Right. She got the sunshine coffee T-shirt.
And she's always be kind. So cute little rainbow. No. The color is awesome.
I love it. And
it's very happy. And it just retro reminds me of the 70s.
Yeah.
Which I'm a fan of, obviously. But I have these beautiful, if you can see these, because the camera went quiet. Like a coral color, right? It disappears.
Oh, it just disappears.
Yeah, it just always disappears. Is that coral?
No.
What kind of color is that?
Definitely, well, it's more orange.
More orangey? Like a, more of a, tangerine.
Yes.
Yeah, beautiful, which I don't deserve.
Well, and yes, you do.
She made these little cute little, look at this.
Chocolate chip cookies.
Little chocolate chip cookies. And this cute little box.
It was a toss-up between chocolate chip cookies and blueberry muffins.
Either one's good.
I was like really tired too and trying to get a lot of stuff done. So I was like, what can I make Cheryllann?
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
I didn't make her nothing.
Yeah, she did. She gave me a beautiful birthday card.
Oh, yes. It was her birthday.
Birthday to me. And a gift and a book, which I'm going to read.
My friend, I know the American Dream, True Tang.
Yeah,
her brand.
Those are
really good.
I'm very excited.
I like it because they're little mini.
They're tasty.
They're very tasty.
Well, they were big, but I cut them in 4s and baked them small because I like little bite-sized soft cookies.
They are perfect as I spit it out.
Cheryl.
I'm just a mess, people, but you know what? This just lets you know life gets messy.
And we're real. We're real people.
And we're real people.
And we had a rough week. Both of us. I had a rough week. Working.
Yeah.
And I'm a little burnt out. Are you a little burnt out as well? Yeah.
This girl needs a vacation.
Hey, we just got offered a vacation.
Oh.
We just got to come up with the money.
Yeah. So we have our neighbor, Misty. Fabulous Misty.
Oh my God, I love her.
They have a wonderful place in Spain. A condo, family condo.
We're going to have her on the show one day too. She's so cool.
She's her energy is off the roof.
She's going to talk to us.
And I'll be like over here, okay, I need more coffee.
Work-life balance. Or no, work from home, work-life balance. Same thing.
So
work from home.
One day, that would be amazing to go. Where did she say was that?
Spain. I don't know.
Spain.
Near the beach. 10-minute walk to the beach.
Yeah. That sounds so relaxing right now.
Yeah, we're in the Pacific Northwest, and it's been a bit hot, But
I mean, I like it. I mean,
I do too.
But it just has just been hard to breathe at night.
Yeah.
But I mean, the cooler weather is nice this morning. I'll get the lawn mowed later and whatnot. But
you do have more. I noticed driving here. I was like, why is there more cloud? Not even cloud. Is it cloud cover?
It's a fire haze.
It's like a heavy haze driving over here. Where's the fire at? I mean, usually I hear about this, but I haven't heard about any fires.
I know there's fires up in the Bellingham area.
Oh, really?
And the winds could be taking it down.
Okay.
So, not like my brother. There's
he's in Palouse. Okay. Which is really beautiful.
10 miles from his house.
Oh, no, that's scary.
I think they got that one out.
That's so scary.
So, which I know we want to get into hers because she got an amazing story for us.
I got a long story today.
I didn't think about this, so something to think about.
Okay.
So, your car gets super hot. So your car, he was telling me the other day, because I'm going to go in and my car's going to go into service on Tuesday.
Right.
And we were talking about the tailpipe. So depending on your car, how old it is and how you've maintenance, blah, blah, blah. It can be anywhere from 900 to 2,000 degrees in the heat, the tailpipe. So underneath your whole exhaust system. Because if you think, it's the one that's working hard with the engine.
Can that start a fire?
Exactly. Well, so that's what happened in Palouse. So this is how.
Okay.
So my grass, actually, I don't really water my grass. Water flows from the neighborhood, comes down. And so my grass stays pretty green.
It's really
my neighbors doesn't. So it's the way that, and then the water comes down, it goes out to the back green belt. So in the Palouse area, they have the Palouse fields, they do the wheat, they do all of that. So there's a lot of dry grass over there. Wow. So it's so beautiful over there. You got people coming over and like, I want to take a picture,
Oh, yeah.
And they pull over in the field.
Oh.
They've been driving a while. Next thing you know, and that's what happened. We don't know if the guy was taking pictures or what.
Innocent.
But he pulled into
totally innocent.
He had an old truck that was lower to the ground, so the tailpipe was hitting the grass.
Did he know it happened?
Well, his car got burned out.
His car burned down?
His car burnt up.
Why?
Because it caught the car on fire. Because your car is like a ticking time bomb.
Oh,
it has all the oils. It has all your gas.
Wow.
And so it caught the grass on fire, which then caught the vehicle on fire.
Oh my God! Would it happen with an electric car?
Very good. Very good question. That's a very good question. I don't know how
you can always email us
down there. Yeah, let us know.
Coffeeandapodcast 3, the number 3 at Gmail. Right?
.com.
We've been off for 2 weeks.
Yes.
Who are you?
No, I don't know. Who am I? I don't know who I am.
I haven't seen you in a while.
I need to.
Maybe you can enjoy your coffee. Do you need another cup while I read my story? My story is really heady today.
But no, I just wanted to share that. Now, when we post this, it's going to be after that season. But it's things to remember. And and you could do something really innocently. Yeah. And then all of a sudden you started a fire. And that's what happened with this guy.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unreal.
So just remember, your car can
ignite
things without you even knowing about it. So I am so sorry. So I'm just gonna sit here.
You're sorry. You don't have to
be quiet. Drink my coffee. Stuff my face with cookies.
Hey, you're here for the conversation. Don't be sorry.
We gotta work on that. I know.
Yeah, you don't have to be sorry about anything. You are fabulous.
Muchas gracias.
So today mine's really heavy. So you just sit back and enjoy and chime in because. It's kind of, the people we choose, this guy's definitely controversial. He was an author.
I don't know who he is.
Many books. I'm going to tell you all about him. But before I do, I'm going to talk to you about the word, because the word literature just kind of has always eluded me, freaked me out. I didn't grow up in that era of, in school, I didn't have a college education. I had a little, tiny, but not enough to retain all these things. And the word literature has just been one of my words that kind of, wow, that word scares me. The word literature comes from the Latin word literatura, Latin, which means writing formed with letters or learning writing grammar. It comes from the Latin word litera, which means letter. The word was first recorded in Middle English between 1375 and 1425. When I read this, it helps me feel like, okay, I'm not so intimidated by an author now. Right. And literature is a collection of written works that can be considered an art form and can include both print and digital writing. It can also be visual or oral, such as plays or folktale. Literature can transmit culture, record and preserve knowledge, and entertain. It can also have social, psychological, spiritual, or political roles. Once I read what literature meant, because of this author who's very much into literature, it helped.
That's a power punch word.
It helped. Yeah, it helped me feel, more confident about when I read, because it's like, okay, these, people that are in the literature world, whatever that meant always to me, I'm like, oh, it was intimidating. But now it's not. I read that. That's what it means. So everyone can be happy to know. Anyway, today...
what was the other word that you taught me earlier today? Heady? What?
Oh, heady. I said this episode's going to be heady.
And I'm like, heady? What's heady?
What's heady? That's just slang for...
She always has great words.
Intellectual.
Yeah. So no, it's great.
This podcast for sure today is going to be controversial because the author, what he presents in his writings, and it's just plain old controversial because everyone forms an opinion by what they read or how they grow up or what's taught to them.
Grow up.
So today we're doing Joseph Cambell. He was an American author born 26th of March, 1904 in White Plains, New York. His work was in the field of comparative mythology. I don't know what that means.
Mythology.
But a very controversial dude in his time. And then I was tripping out on the word controversial. Like, this dude is controversial. Notes for today are from Wikipedia, Blinklist magazine, and quotes from various articles and books that Joseph talked about. I personally remember hearing about him when I lived in Los Angeles, although a lot of my memory fades after reading about so many great people. It has always been a passion of mine to learn about people that cared to write books and their true stories about their life.
But he's not the Cambell House person, right? There's a Cambell House, but he has nothing to do with the Cambell House?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, maybe, but I don't
Probably
know.
not. That's the only Cambell I know.
I'm not sure. There's Cambell soup, but I don't think he's related. As I tell some of the story of Joseph Campbell's life, I may have to translate some words that for some reason the definitions don't always stay with me. Words. Like I get words just kind of bog me down sometime, but I try. Okay, so Joseph was the older son of Charles William Campbell from Waltham, Massachusetts. I know. We're gonna
Alex's
be going
middle
back
name
in
is
time.
Charles.
Oh, really?
So,
I love that name, Charles.
And it's in our family history
William
on both
Campbell.
sides. So I just love that name, Charles. Sorry.
He's from Massachusetts, and Joseph's mom, Josephine, which I love that name.
I love the name Josephine.
Excuse me. Lynch from New York. His father grew up poor, but a successful salesman at a department store and established his own successful hosiery business. Joseph Campbell's family was Irish Catholic. This was in 1904, so the early 1900s.
Okay.
So
I'm just trying to think hosiery. That time this came out then, right?
Yes.
That would have been a booming business.
Yeah, exactly. So they made their living.
Yeah.
So during his childhood, he moved with his family to Rochelle, New York. New Rochelle, New York. In 1919, a fire destroyed their family home, killing his grandmother and injuring his father, who tried to save her. So they had some sad things happen. In 1921, Joseph graduated from Canterbury, sounds like a fairy tale, school in New Milford, Connecticut, where he had studied mathematics but discovered that he was much more interested in humanities. So he transferred to Columbia University, where he received a Bachelor of Arts degree in English Literature in 1925 and a master's degree in medieval literature in 1927, which I'm no longer intimidated by the word. In 1924,
words can have power and be intimidating.
Now, ask me about art, and Even though one day I'm doing a report right now on Leonardo da Vinci, and that'll get heady as well.
We'll get heady. Now we know that word. So
hey, at least it's not. At least
you get your coffee, a podcast, inspiration, and you get to learn new words.
When I tell something to my husband and I crack up when we hear some doctors say, "Are you heaty? Heaty. You got too much heat in your body in a certain area. Heaty. Are you heaty? Yeah. So this is heady, not heaty.
Yes.
Yeah, you're very heaty, Cheryl. I'm very heaty as well.
Heaty. Okay. We're very hot.
So anyway, he got all these degrees. So this was a serious dude. Like in 1924, Joseph had traveled to Europe with his family on the ship, which I imagine had so much time back then, because you're on a ship. What are you going to do?
Yeah, exactly.
He met with the Messiah-elect of the Theological Society, Jiddu Krishnamurti, in which they discussed Indian philosophy, which in turn sparked Joseph's interest in Hindu and Indian thought. This guy was just getting his learn on.
Yeah.
His mind was being blown.
Wow.
In 1927, he received a fellowship from Columbia University to study in Europe. Joseph studied Old French, Provençal, and Sanskrit at the University of Paris and the University of Munich.
Wow.
He learned to read and speak French and German. See, and
Amazing.
You and I don't even know the basic word. Well, you do.
I don't even speak English. I don't even speak English properly. Mine's
We're trying.
Yeah.
It's fun.
And then the Spanish I have is Spanglish, so it's like...
It's very good. Your Spanish is good.
Yeah, a little bit.
In the midst of the Great Depression in the U.S., Joseph spent 1929 and 1934. He would read 9 hours a day by dividing his days into sections.
From 1929 to 34?
5 years.
He would read 9 hours a day. Yeah.
He was a very dedicated student, reading. I know, right?
Yeah.
Worthy of praise.
But he wasn't married and had kids, right?
Not yet.
Not yet. Oh. There you go.
He did this for 5 years.
Wow.
In 1931 to 1932, he ventured out to California, where he met and became close friends with a famous author named John Steinbeck.
Oh,
Joseph
Steinbeck.
continued. Yeah, he's another famous author of literature. I don't know what kind of literature. Joseph continued his independent reading. And went on to teaching at the Connecticut Canterbury School, and wrote and sold his first short story, Strictly Platonic, to Liberty Magazine. I'd like to read that. I don't know where it is.
Strictly Platonic.
Strictly Platonic. We're just
friends.
What are you
talking about?
We're just friends. That's what that means.
Yeah.
In 1934, Joseph accepted a position as a professor of literature at Sarah Lawrence College in Yonkers, New York. Imagine what it must like to be a professor in 1934. That's what I'd like to imagine.
I mean, people are like, professor.
I know, it was a big deal.
I mean, it's still a big deal
to me. But yeah,
back
doctor,
then, I mean,
professor,
because it wasn't
lawyer.
as widespread as it is now. But back then, it's like,
he had some controversy coming up. We'll talk about. 4 years later, he married one of his students, Jean Ederman, a dancer, choreographer, and they were married for 49 years.
Wow!
They lived in Greenwich Village, New York, and purchased an apartment in Hawaii, which they divided their time living. Joseph Campbell's idea regarding myth and his relationship to the human psyche are influenced by Sigmund Freud, but also by Jung. Is it Jung or Jung? I don't know.
Yeah, it depends on which culture you're in.
Whose studies of human psychology, method of dream interpretation greatly influenced his conception of myth, which is heavily reliant on symbolic interpretation. And now it gets controversial, everyone. But I love it. I love good. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Joseph Campbell's concept of monomyth, one myth, which I think is fascinating, refers to the theory that sees all mythic narratives as variations of a single great story. The theory is based on the observation that common patterns exist beneath the narrative elements of most great myths. So meaning we hear all these different myths and there's a it's the same. Regardless of their origin or time of creation. It gets more intricate for Joseph during his reading of his favorite people. The central pattern most studied by him is referred to as the hero's journey, and it was first described in The Hero with 1,000 Faces in 1949.
Wow.
An enthusiast of novelist James Joyce, Joseph Cambell borrowed the term monomyth from Joyce's Finnegan's Wake. Oh, I thought it was the reverse, but I guess he borrowed it from him, which is really a big deal, the word monomyth, because it makes you think. Mm-hmm. He also made use of Carl Jung, I hope I'm saying his name wrong, right? I mean,
Mr. J.
Carl J. His theories on the structure of the human psyche, and he often used the term as anima, animus, and ego and consciousness. Okay, I did warn everyone this was a heavy one. Heady.
Yeah, heady. Very heady.
It's not even heavy. It's heady. As a strong believer in the psychic unity of mankind and its poet expression through mythology, he made this concept to express the effort of making the world transparent to transcendence by showing that underneath the world of phenomena lies an internal source which is constantly pouring its energies into the world of time, suffering, and ultimately death. To achieve this task, one needs to speak about things, just have to speak, about things that existed before and beyond worlds, a seemingly impossible task, the solution to which lies the metaphors found in myths, and I like metaphors. The hero's journey was the story of a man or woman who went through great suffering, reaching an experience of the eternal source and returned with gifts powerful enough to set their society free. Wow.
Wow.
He goes on to explain in great detail the breakdowns of how this works, and societies will interpret their stories depending on their social structures and environmental pressures that existed at that time, which makes a lot of sense, right? In 1987, Joseph Cambell, in a documentary for A Hero's Journey, he explains God in terms of a metaphor. Well, this is just his opinion, so everyone calm down.
Hate mail.
Yeah.
Please. No, everybody has a right
Everyone
opinion.
calm down. Yeah. God is a metaphor for the mystery that absolutely transcends all human categories of thought, even the categories of being and non-being. Those are categories of thought. I mean, it's as simple as that. Mm-hmm. So it depends on how much you want to think about it, whether it's doing you any good, whether it's putting you in touch with the mysteries that ground, that's the ground of your own being. If it isn't well, it's a lie. So half the people in the world are religious people who think that their metaphors are facts. These are what we call theists. The other half of people who know that the metaphors are not facts, and so their lies, they are called atheists. Atheists.
Oh, I know that, but I've never heard the
theist. I didn't either.
Never heard the theist.
So controversial. So then it goes on to describe the functions of myth. He writes this whole thing about the mystical, metaphysical function, the cosmological function, the sociological function, the pedagogical, physiological function. Then he goes on to explain.
He was a deep thinker.
Yeah, he was so deep, but I love it. This is my jammy jam. Then he goes on to explain the details, the evolution of myth, the way of animal powers, hunting and gathering societies, the way of the seeded earth, early agrarian societies, which other professors have gone on to write books about. There's this professor in Australia who's also controversial, who goes on to write about, I watched this documentary. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so the way of the man, he wrote The Way of the Celestial Lights, the first high civilizations, The Way of Man, medieval mythology, romantic love, and the birth of modern spirit. George Lucas, who created Star Wars and released in 1977, was the first to credit Joseph Cambell, and this is what he said.
Oh, wow.
So famous, I mean, not famous people, but people with, that were making movies read his books and understood
where he was coming from.
They used their metaphor, like some metaphors like that during their film.
Oh, wow.
I came to the conclusion after American Graffiti that was valuable to me is to set standards, not to show people the world the way it is around the period of this realization. It came to me that there really was no modern use of mythology. The Western was possibly the last generically American fairy tale, telling us about our values. And once the Western disappeared, nothing has ever taken its place. In literature, we were going off into science fiction. So that's when I started doing more strenuous research on fairy tales, folklore, and mythology, and started reading Joe's books. Before that, I hadn't read any of Joe's books. It was very eerie because in reading The Hero with 1,000 Faces, I began to realize that my first draft of Star Wars was following classic motifs. So I modified my next draft according to what I'd been learning about classical motifs to make it a little bit more consistent. I went on to read The Masks of God. We're almost finished. And one of his books, Follow Your Bliss, was one of Joseph Campbell's famous quotes. His interpretations came from Sanskrit that he had read, not merely saw this as a mantra, but as a helpful guide to the individual who along the hero journey that make each of us walk through life. If you follow your bliss, that's you put yourself on a kind of a track that has been there all the while, waiting for you. And the life that you ought to be living is the one you are living. Wherever you are, if you are following your bliss, you are enjoying that refreshment, that life within you all the time.
Not the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, I know. Me either. I can attest to that. Yeah, we had a rough 2 weeks. Campbell's work was met with high criticism, but I would dare say to the critics, me personally, let there be a conversation. Early conclusions implanted in Campbell his fundamental convictions that similarities rather than differences between myths count most, that mythologies worldwide are related, that myth must be interpreted non-historically and non-literally, and that religions systematically misinterpret their own myths. You can find his collections of work online. I highly recommend. And then I have some quotes from him, and I won't go into his breakdown of it, but the gist of it, you can look these up. This was from Blankless magazine. Because I think that his quotes were very poignant and important because it goes into much more explanation, and you can read about it. Myth is much more important and true than history. History is just journalism, and you know how reliable that is. I mean, it's subjective.
That's true. Subjective, yeah.
Life, and then you can read about what that meant to him.
Right.
How it can make us richer, poorer. Life is like arriving late for a movie, having to figure out what is going on without bothering everybody with a lot of questions, and then being unexpectedly called away before you find out how it ends.
Oh my gosh.
Meaning the highlights, the unpredictable, transient nature of life.
That's a good way
This
to
one's
say it.
bloody heady, isn't it? It's no fun.
Mm-hmm.
If there were already a path, it would have to be someone else's. The whole point is to find your own way.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I don't see that one out there. Come on.
Campbell encourages us to break away from the familiar and venture to the uncharted territories, where we can uncover our true selves and fulfill our individual potentials. I don't believe people are looking for the meaning of life as much as they are looking for the experience of being alive. Oh, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
It says, it reminds us that the meaning of life is overshadowed by the desire to truly live and experience life to its fullest.
That's true.
It suggests that instead of obsessing over finding a grand purpose or an ultimate truth, we should focus on embracing the present moment and immersing ourselves in the richness of life. By seeking out new experiences, connecting with others, embracing the beauty and wonder of the world around us, we can find fulfillment and a sense of aliveness. This quote encourages us to shift our focus from seeking answers to embracing the journey of being alive. This one I thought was interesting. The very cave you are afraid to enter turns out to be the source of what you are looking for.
Oh,
what did he mean by that? It means your greatest fears and challenges hold the key to our personal growth and fulfillment. This is so heavy. Okay, now it's heavy. It went from heady to heavy. By acknowledging and confronting our fears, we have the opportunity to discover our true potential and find the answers of opportunities we have been searching for. This dude was a genius.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Now this one's going to be controversial.
Very deep person. I don't know if I could hold a conversation with him because he's.
I would.
She would.
Yeah,
she'd be able to.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know that I'm qualified, but I would.
That's what I don't think I'm that.
I'm
intellectual that I could be able to hold a conversation with him.
All the gods, all the heavens, all the hells are within you. I love that is true. Once again, Joseph Cambell delivers a thought-provoking message about the power and potential that lies within each individual. The quote suggests that we have the capacity to embody all aspects of existence, from the divine to the infernal. It reminds us that we possess the ability to tap into our own inner strength, wisdom, and spirituality, whatever it is, doesn't matter. By recognizing and embracing the vastness of our own being, we can navigate life's challenges and find fulfillment within ourselves. That's right. Yeah. So it's basically saying we're a source of our own happiness and hell, which is true.
That's 100% correct.
Yeah, and
100% correct.
And we talk a lot about that. Yeah, we do. We talk a lot about positivity and midlife is when you reach the top of the ladder and find that it was against the wrong wall.
Been there, done that.
That's funny. That is self-reflection, reevaluation. Is that reinventing? Because I keep reinventing myself.
Yeah.
Is that instead of... Okay.
So what does he say about that one?
It says, I'm just going to...
I encourage individuals to question their choices
and priorities, ensuring that they are aligned with the authentic selves by recognizing and rectifying any misalignment.
So you don't find yourself against the wrong wall.
Redirect their efforts towards a more meaningful and satisfying path.
Like that. I gotta keep that one. That
People forget facts, but they remember stories. I like that. Opportunities to find deeper powers within ourselves come when life seems most challenging.
That is very true. Very
so true. If you are on the right path, you will find that invisible hands are helping. Where are they? No, they're there.
That is my friend Lourdes.
Yeah?
Yeah, because she's doing a commercial.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's exciting.
They're putting out a commercial. She's just, one great thing. And she has a helper now. So it's like,
good.
This is all within that where, I didn't mean to boast her. I mean, it just
no.
Where
this
you
is
know
all about
that
the journey.
You're on the right path, the journey.
Yeah.
Because she had wanted to give up several times and go back to what she used to do, and I kept saying, no, girl, you're on the right path. I really believe you're on the right path.
Yeah.
So doors just keep opening left and right for her. And now she just filmed a commercial that'll go out. She'll let us know.
Right.
So I'll let you know.
Good. Yeah.
And she'll give us a link, and then she'll let us know when.
How exciting
it goes. And then she also has a helper now. Absolutely. The minute we get it. And then she has a part-time helper now too. So this is this, it's so great.
Yeah.
To see people grow or it's just amazing to be part of that journey with them.
And the same theme keeps reoccurring for us. It's like, don't give up. Just keep we keep having setbacks in our lives too, and I'm sure Lourdes did as well, and Chu and everyone we talk about.
Oh yeah,
and Joseph Cambell did, and people didn't like him.
Pushing,
and they didn't like what he had to say because it challenged their belief system, and I think it's important,
see your shirt. There we go. I want to see your shirt.
It's important to
I love
be kind.
the roses she gave me. as the same colors. I keep looking at it and going, oh, she needs to be holding the roses like the queen, and because they match her shirt.
But yeah, sorry it was such a heady, but I love.
Yeah, no,
sometimes I like it. I like things that are a challenge for me, and that was definitely a challenge for me to read through about this man's life and learn about him and learn about the impact he had on a lot of people, right. You know, and he did, and from a literature world,
right?
You know,
those are harder for me. I mean, that would be harder for me to do him because the way I learn, or the way I process,
right.
I have to look at every word, dissect it, know what it means, and then move on to the next. Which
I did too. I
guess a lot of people, my
skim.
teacher is supposed to, I guess you're supposed to read the whole thing and then know at the end what that whole thing was. For me, I have to go, the duck went across the water, whatever, and then know what each word meant. So recapping him, I think it would have been a real mind challenge for me.
It was. Because it was wonderful.
Yeah, that's just very heavy.
Important because, you know, not all our listeners are going to think one way or the other. And it's nice to open up people's minds, I believe.
Do you have a picture you can find of him on the internet?
Sure.
I would love to see what he looks like.
Yeah.
We'll show our listeners.
Sure.
He sounds like he was ahead of his time.
He definitely was. I mean,
and would be really embraced today. So
I'm definitely going to
do Mark Twain. Like in his thoughts. I mean, in a different way. In a different way, right? But he's like a Mark Twain, but different.
But different.
The way
very different. This was him. He was a happy guy.
Oh yeah, look at that guy.
He reminds me of the 70s for sure.
Can you see that?
60s, 70s.
Oh, there we go. Is that a better shot?
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful case. He looks like a very happy guy.
Yeah.
I know some people that would love to have conversations with him, and they would just...
I know. Yeah.
I just don't know if I'm at that same level to be able to have a conversation.
Yeah.
And he had how many kids? Did he have kids?
I don't know if they had any children. I don't think they did. It doesn't say that they did.
So I was wondering if he passed on that.
Yeah, I don't know.
That charisma and deep thought.
Yeah. Well, I think it's an individual thing. I mean, you really, I don't think he did. But
okay. Well, no, because like when you're born into that environment, that thinking, a lot of times a person can pick up on that and be more.
Oh, they do, but not everyone, because I'm
not
also
I'm
doing
not everybody.
A scientist.
No.
I'm doing all the heady ones, guys.
She's doing the heady ones. I'm doing the funky ones. Well, I'm doing next.
That makes us a good team because I am definitely conquering scientists or. I'm doing some scientists, and I'm doing some scientists from 370 AD as well. I'm rolling out.
Just a little way back there.
Yeah, but I love,
it's so cool to learn.
I'm a forever learner, and so are you. Yeah. You know what? We all have that common thread together.
Yeah. I think a lot of people would say yes, they do like to learn.
Yes, and when it's presented to them in a way that, like for me,
I would have never known about this guy.
Yeah. I knew about him for years, but I just wasn't ready to receive the information, and now I am.
Oh,
so
that is a key thing right there.
Yeah.
So you can be leading a horse to water, you know.
Yeah.
But if we're not ready, to drink that water, drink that knowledge, then
you're not ready.
You're not gonna
receive it.
Take advantage of that. Yeah.
Yeah, so and I was ready. I enjoy reading books. I enjoy learning about how people think and what makes them work.
You're great. Yeah. I'm the listener.
She's the fun one, and I'm the serious one. And that's why we get along. Hey, cheers to that.
I did a little bit left.
Yeah, you got a
cheers.
That was coffee in a podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we should wrap up, and if you want to reach us, unless we have anything else to say.
No, did we have any quotes for that one?
No, because I felt like
we gave him a lot of quotes.
Yeah, I used all his quotes.
Which was your favorite quote?
There's
a lot of good quotes there.
Yeah, there was so many good quotes. I really liked I'll
have to take a screenshot.
I do like people forget facts, but they remember stories. All the gods, the
I love
heavens,
this
and the hells
one.
are within you. Oh, yeah. Midlife is when you reach the top of the ladder and find it was against the wrong wall. I mean, there's just so many great...
You know, but it lets you know that you're not alone. That there's other people who go up the ladder and go, I'm not supposed to be here. I need to regroup.
I mean, the guy was just such a thinker. I mean, like, wow.
Much into his thought. Yeah. Well, that's amazing.
He did enough thinking for all of us people.
And then some. Yeah. That was amazing.
Thank you. I know. Sorry, it was heady, but.
So we've been gone a couple weeks and then you come back with a really heady one. But it was a really good one.
Heavy one.
So if you guys know any facts about
Joseph Cambell, the author,
and
write us.
coffeeandapodcast 3@gmail.com. I don't have any emails yet. So
I think we're going to get some. Because we have some listeners we just found out. We're so excited to get some emails.
We'd love to hear from you guys.
Yeah.
We would love to hear it. And if you have a
story, an inspirational story, we'd love to hear it.
Yeah, I'd love to have you. I mean, we love it that you like, and we'd love for you to subscribe and follow. But we'd love to hear if it moved you, like, you know, I really needed that today, or, you know, I really got to thinking about that this week.
Right.
Or we'd really liked, we haven't heard that yet. We've heard that, you know, we listen to you, we like you, but we'd love to hear if anything touches anybody, if it gives them hope, if that made them have a day, turn around their day, and they're able to inspire somebody else's day. That's what the podcast is all about. So
sharing and being happy, and
absolutely.
I mean, trust us, we're not always happy. We have our days. Like, I had to call her last night and get everything off my chest before I came over this morning because I was so negative yesterday.
And it's okay to be negative.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's part of life.
I think people put too much weight on trying to be perfect.
Yeah, I'm not.
And we're not perfect. We won't be perfect.
No.
That's what makes us us. That's what makes our character. And we all have our days, and I'm happy I can be there for her, and vice versa. Where you know, if I have something I need to talk about, just get it out there, and
that's right,
and make us move on.
And also, if you need help with mental health, you should go see therapy.
Absolutely.
Or, you know, get help, or talk to friends, or you know,
journal.
It's hard. It's really hard to see people you love and care about going through something, and you want to help them, and you can't.
That's very true.
And I'm in that situation right now, and I haven't quite figured out how to formulate my words yet. But I'd like to tell them that I love them and to keep working it out, because life, you know, we don't know if we reincarnate or come back, or so just live your best life.
Yeah, exactly.
Be kind to everyone, because you don't know what they're going through. Mm-hmm. You don't know what their situation is.
And I bought a towel recently that says, when life gives you lemonade, make tequila. When life gives you lemons, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade and tequila.
You mean margarita?
No, it says, where's my towel? It's like, when life gives you lemons,
margarita,
you make tequila lemonade.
Okay.
Something like along that.
It's kind of like a lemonade margarita to me. Everything says margarita.
Even the bike I have out there says margarita.
That's hysterical. I love that bike.
It's it's just hanging here for a while.
Yeah.
It's my.
So I'm glad we ended on a happy note. That was fun.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That was heavy, but check them out. Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Yeah, we're gonna go off and film our
little mini stuff, and then in the meantime,
and it is a podcast.
I have to convince our producer that mini episodes they do count as podcasts,
and we're gonna film one right now.
Anyway,
check us out. Thank you.
As you say,
be kind
and be good. Until next time, ciao.